Hello, my friends. Fluency in English doesn't need a single textbook, a paid course, or a teacher, only 15 honest minutes a day. Starting tonight, most people believe learning a language requires money and a classroom. It doesn't. What it requires is something simpler and harder at the same time, showing up every day, even when you sound a little silly. Today, I'm giving you a 3-step routine: listen, speak, repeat, that has taken people from complete silence to full conversations. Not because they were gifted, because they didn't quit. Here's the problem with how most people try to learn English. They open a grammar book and memorize rules about tenses and articles, the same way they'd memorize facts for a history exam, cramming information they'll forget the moment the test is over. But think about how you learned your first language. No one handed you a grammar textbook at age 2. You heard it, you copied it, you got it wrong 1,000 times, and slowly, without studying a single rule, it became yours. A grammar book teaches you about a language. Daily listening and speaking teaches you the language itself. The same way swimming lessons in a pool teach you more than reading a book about swimming ever could. That's the method we're going back to, not because it's trendy, but because it's how language actually enters a human brain. Step 1. Listen like you're hearing music. Forget complicated, fast-paced English for now. Each morning, before you even check your phone for messages, play one short clip, 60 seconds, maybe 2 minutes. Your only job is to absorb it the way you absorb a song on the radio, not the way you'd study a vocabulary list. A vocabulary list asks you to memorize. A song just asks you to listen until it's familiar, and one day you catch yourself humming it without trying. That's the same shift happening in your ear with English. A simple line like, "She is heading to the store." Let it repeat. Notice the rhythm, the way the words connect. This is exactly how a baby learns to speak. Months of listening happen before a single word comes out. You're doing the same thing, just doing it on purpose. As an adult, with intention. Even catching one clear word in a whole sentence counts as progress. Do this daily while you brush your teeth, while you walk, while you wait for tea to boil, and your ear starts recognizing patterns your brain hasn't consciously studied yet. Step 2. Speak before you feel ready. This is where most people freeze. They think, what if I get it wrong? Here's the truth. Mistakes were never your real obstacle. Silence was. So start small. Look around your room and describe it out loud. That's a table, this is my tea. I am sitting here. No grammar rules, no overthinking, just sound. Stand in front of a mirror and say, "Good morning. How are you feeling today?" It will feel strange at first, maybe even funny. That's fine. Think of it like lifting weights at a gym. The first set always feels awkward and a little embarrassing, and nobody walks in able to lift the heaviest bar on day 1. Your speaking muscle works the same way. It strengthens through repetition, not through getting it right immediately. Within weeks, your sentences grow longer on their own. Today, I feel hopeful. I want to grow. I won't give up. You don't need an audience. The most important listener you'll ever practice for is yourself. Step 3, repeat until it becomes life, not a subject. Don't treat English like an exam to study for. Weave it into your day instead. While walking, say, "I am walking forward." While eating, say, "I am enjoying this meal." When you're tired, say, "I'm tired, but I'll keep going." Watch how fast this compounds. Day 1, you might say, "This is a notebook." By day 5, "This is my notebook." By day 10, "This is my favorite notebook." By day 20, "This is my favorite notebook, because writing in it calms my mind." One simple sentence became a small story, not from pressure, but from patience, one layer added at a time. One new sentence a day equals 365 sentences in a year. Compare that to someone who waits for the right time to start a formal course and never does 365 sentences. Will always beat 0 sentences. That's enough vocabulary to talk about your job, your family, your opinions, and your dreams, without translating any of it in your head first. Why consistency beats talent? Let me tell you about someone who decided to practice just 5 minutes a day. People around them laughed. What can 5 minutes possibly do? They kept going anyway, ignoring the noise. 5 minutes became 10. 10 became 20. A few months later, they were holding an entire conversation in English, smoothly, without translating in their head first. Not because they were the most talented person in the room, they weren't. Because they were the most consistent. Think of it like a savings account earning interest. The first deposit looks almost pointless, a few rupees that won't change anything. But interest compounds quietly in the background day after day, and one day the total stops looking small at all. 5 minutes of honest daily practice works exactly the same way. It just needs time you refuse to interrupt. What about the days you don't feel like it? There will be days you don't feel like it at all. Your mind will say, I'll start again tomorrow. But tomorrow has a way of sliding into another tomorrow, and weeks disappear that way. Treat this routine the way you treat brushing your teeth. You don't wait to feel motivated to brush your teeth. You just do it because it's part of your day, not a decision you remake every morning. On your lowest energy day, skip the full session. Listen for 60 seconds. Say one sentence into the air. That alone is enough to keep the chain unbroken. And an unbroken chain of small days is worth more than one perfect week followed by 2 empty months. You will mix up grammar, words will escape you at the worst possible moment. That's not failure. That's evidence you're actually trying. Compare it to a musician practicing scales. A wrong note during practice isn't a disaster. It's simply how the right note eventually gets found. When something goes wrong, don't say, I'm bad at this. Say, I'm in the middle of learning this. That one shift in language changes your entire mindset. And your mindset is the most powerful tool you have. One small addition that helps enormously: record your own voice once a week. Say, hello, my name is, and I live in Pakistan, and every day I'm getting a little better at this. Months later, replay your very first recording next to your latest one. You'll hear the distance you've traveled in your own voice, and no one will be able to argue you out of that proof. For a moment, picture the version of you a year from now, speaking without hesitation, sharing ideas and feelings openly, and being heard not because the grammar is flawless, but because what's being said actually means something. That person isn't a fantasy sitting somewhere out of reach. They're a destination, and you reach them the exact same way every single time. Consistency, not luck, not talent, not money for expensive classes. Compare two people starting today. One waits for the perfect course, the perfect schedule, the perfect mood. The other just presses play tonight. A year from now, only one of them will actually be speaking English. The difference was never ability. It was the decision to begin before feeling ready. You're not learning English to impress anyone. You're learning it to remove walls so you can walk through doors that used to feel sealed shut in your career, your conversations, your confidence. So tonight, don't overthink it. Open one short video. Listen once. Say one sentence out loud, even if your voice shakes. Tomorrow, do it again. That's the entire method. Listen, speak, repeat without skipping a day. Because the person who once couldn't get through a simple hello without their heart racing is the same person who, one day soon, will say, I believe in who I'm becoming. And that's not just a language skill, that's a different person altogether.